Hello and welcome to the Coder's Legacy channel. In today's video, we'll explore how to deploy and host your React website using the AWS Amplify service. To get started, search for Amplify in the AWS dashboard. Click on the following result, which will take you to the Amplify dashboard. Scroll to the bottom of this page, where you'll see two options: Amplify Studio, where you can build an app, or Amplify Hosting, where you can host an existing app. Click on Get Started, and here we have a bunch of options, which basically what Amplify does is that it takes our code from wherever it's stored, wherever it's uploaded, like GitHub, Bitbucket, or GitLab. So it's going to take that code, build it, and then deploy it by itself. So I have my code on GitHub, so I'm going to select GitHub. All right, continue. All right, so what we have here is that it's asking me to authorize the installation of the AWS Amplify plugin on my GitHub. Okay, so I advise you to select repositories and pick the repository where you want to have this plugin installed. Okay, so I'm going to do it on the tutorial website repository, not on all of my repositories. All right, because I just want to keep it limited to this one repository which I want to upload, which I want to deploy and host on AWS Amplify. So install and authorize. It's going to ask you for your password. And now it's installed. All right, so this takes us back to the AWS Amplify dashboard. All right, says authorization was successful. We can now select the repository which we authorized earlier. All right, okay, and then you can select the branch. I only have one branch, so it's the main branch. All right, and if you have a monorepo, like for example, you have both the backend and the front end in a single folder, so then this allows you to pick that folder. So for example, you can do front end. Okay, if you have your front end code in the front end folder. All right, so with this, we'll continue. All right, so what it did is automatically it scanned my GitHub repo and generated the following template. This is going to be used, like you can see npm run build here, and then the base directory for the output is dist, the dist folder. Everything is going to be built and saved in here. This is very similar to how it runs locally. This is what the code is on my local repo, my local computer. So the dist folder is where everything gets sent when you run the npm run build command. Okay. Alright, so back here, if you feel like some changes should be made or you want to make some customizations, you can do edit and then make some changes here. So let's continue. The default settings should be fine in most cases. Save and deploy. Alright, so now it's done, but it's going to take some time for it to be provisioned, built, and deployed. So I'll just skip ahead until it's finished. Alright, so it's finished deployment. Now to access our hosted website, we can go over here. This is the URL, and here we go. Here is my website, which is a very simple login page that I have created. Okay, so if you want to look further, so there are many things that you can customize over here. For example, you can add a backend using Amplify Studio, or you can host your backend somewhere else like AWS Lambda or on an EC2 instance. I'll leave a few links for that down in the description below if you're interested in adding a backend for your React application. Otherwise, if you want to change the domain name, you can do that as well. They're all settings over here. Here in domain management, you can add a domain. Okay, but this is out of the scope of this video because you'll need to go to Amazon Route 53 first. You'll need to buy a domain and everything. I'm just showing you a few options. Build settings is where you can edit your settings if something went wrong and it's not properly being built. If you may need to run some additional commands, for example, or you may have to customize this command. So these are different things that you can do. Notifications, if your build succeeds or something, you can add notifications to your phone number if you want to. Environment variables, like if you have things that you don't want to keep in the code, it's normal to keep your environment variables outside of the code. So if, for example, you have authorization keys and things, you can add those variables over here and they'll be available within your code. It's much safer this way. Access control, the passwords and things, monitoring, this is important. You can view the requests, any errors, alarms, access logs. This is going to be pretty important for you guys. This is a freshly hosted website, so obviously you won't see much. It's just, you know, very few requests have been made so far. At any rate, this is what the Amplify servers can do for us. It simplifies deployment, gives us all the tools that we need to run our website, and also provides us with many customization features. So with this, we'll end the video. Hope you guys found it interesting and useful.